Alright guys, this is a friendly melee game between me and Flames again. Heart of the Swarm this time. Newkirk City District, whatever this map is called. Flames as the Terran in the bottom right, and me as Zerg in the bottom left. And I think Flames got lucky on his placement matches and got put in gold, and I got put in bronze. And I think I'll take the piss out of him a little bit during this game for that. And you're going to be saying, but you're in a lower league than him. How can you take the piss out of him for him being in a much higher league than you? And you'll see. So, fairly standard openings. He sends an SCV scout out fairly early. Of course, you're not going to see much. 14 pull, 15 hatch, there's not a lot to scout. I got my Overlord trundling over to his expansion point to keep an eye on that. And he's going for early gas. Both of us are doing okay in terms of drones. Pretty much playing match for match, 16 each. I guess that's keeping an eye on gas timings. But it's going to get toned down by my Zerglings. And then they go to the middle of the map to hold that watchtower. 4 Zerglings isn't really enough against 2 Marines. That's a very even battle. But he hasn't finished this wall off, so if I wanted to, or if I was the sort of player who went for cheesy games and attacked early with Lings, I could run by this pretty easily. Of course I don't know that, so... And I'm playing a safer game, macro style. They're trying to keep up on my injects. Doing okay. Couple of spine callers for defense, as always. And he sends out some Reaper harass. And loses 1 Reaper straight away to my Lings. And I now know these Reapers are coming, so I start getting walled off, and he loses his other Reaper. Reapers are expensive. So not the best trade there, and I've now got a nicer force of Lings holding down the centre point, and I'm sending Overlords all over the map to keep an eye on expansions. So behind this, neither of us are really upgrading. My 1-1 is starting to come out. Baneling Nest is done. You'll notice that if I'm playing Protoss, I do double Evo Roach. If I'm playing Terran, I'll do double Evo Baneling. I find Roaches aren't so good against... Well, they are good against Terran, except Marauders chew through Roaches pretty damn quickly. And if the Terran plays drops, then Roaches just aren't fast enough. So, 10 minutes in... Nearly. Oh yeah, I send this into scout. And what do I see? I see that he's got lots of factories, so I'm going, tech labs. That's lots of tanks coming out. And what's coming out? Nothing. I think it is for tanks, though. Got some barracks coming up behind this, and a starport coming up in the back. That's just bizarre to build. He's built that down there. Who builds their gas before their CC? Well, there's his CC. I got a couple of Lings scout in and attack while I take my 3rd. And what we're looking at? We're looking at 14 Marines, 3 Marauders versus 20 Lings. With speed. And I had tons of minerals to spare, so I just threw down some spines. He's not going to be attacking me successfully anytime soon. And I'm taking a 4th as well. Which, I think this is pretty good. I mean, 11 minutes in, I haven't really been attacked. I know he's only just expanded. And I've seen that he doesn't have a ton of units, so it's kind of like, well, I think I'm safe to take my third and my fourth. Start getting some creep spread, like I said. If I'm being crappy on my injects, I try and get some creep tumors down. Not perfect, because you can see I could creep tumor and still have energy for an inject after this. And up here as well, 50. As soon as you hit 50, you ought to creep tumor. And being very, very slow on my injects. Got queens coming out of both of these. Well, when this is done, that will get a queen out as well. See, he's got the units there. So I just send an army of... Oh, how many units is that? That's like 52 lings. Let's just run around his army. He doesn't even lift off. And it's gone. Oh! Okay, I don't think he understands the fire mechanic. Bang! Fireworks. So I've now got 90 lings. I see these coming. Run by. And from every direction. That medivac gets there way too late. So you can see behind this, I'm producing tons of lings and getting melee and armor too. And I'm setting up all these spines at the front line to defend. He's got some widow mines, which is good. And oh, what did I say in my last ladder game? When you get to Lairtech, why don't you morph one of your overlords into an overseer? Because detection is useful. Oh. One day I will learn to make overseers. That day is not here yet. One day I'll also learn how to spend money, but that day also is not here yet, because I'm currently floating over 1,000 minerals and gas. Part of that is because I'm winning by using lings. And just lings. Which is kind of sad. So he's got a nice little tank encampment up on the top of his base. He's slowly, nearly burnt through all his minerals back in his main. He really, really needs to get an expansion up. Oh, I suppose he could just move this, but that's risky. And I'm... Oh, lazy drones. Lazy drones! More lazy drones. I think these were intended to make gas extractors, and I forgot about them. See? Being lazy with my creep and injects. Lazy with my creep and injects. Oh, this queen's just done nothing. Okay, that army didn't stand a chance. Oh, don't you love the little, like, stampeding sound they make when they're running? Silence. So yeah, he knows that all these units are here. He's actually got a marine sitting in there. Oh dear. So he lost all those tanks. He tried to move those tanks out and failed miserably. Because they just got surrounded by 100 lings. Oh, and here come the mutalisks. He can see those mutalisks. He really, really ought to move.
Mineral field depleted.
But he's not. He's not moving. I'm not attacking either. I can see these medivacs. I've got mutalisks right here and I'm not attacking. He scans the main bases, sees that I have everything. Got his tanks up on the high ground, keeping an eye on things. He's not doing horribly in terms of resources lost. what's that, 1,500 behind? What he is doing horribly on is income. And he just does not have enough. Well, that evened the score out a little bit. But I can afford to waste that many resources. He can't. Oh look, an overseer. I did make an overseer. That makes a change. I drop a changeling in a completely useless position. And I send another one round. I managed to scout out like pretty much everything, I think. Oh look, starports. Double armory. Nearly out of minerals. Triple barracks. And then he kills it. Tries to expand up here. Dies to 50 links. So he's in a really bad position right now, because he's nearly mined himself out, and it's 20 minutes into the game, and he still hasn't expanded. And... oh yeah, this is it. So you're gold, huh? I don't know what I was doing there. Alright, they make it in. He's got the Banshee there, so it will pretty much kill everything there eventually. Although not before losing everything. Well, not before losing that. But, oh, look at this. And I bet he loses that to fire. Are Banshees anti-air? No, they can't shoot air. Yeah, I'm a horrible friend. Jesus. 20 minutes in, he's building another command center. So yeah, he didn't play that game brilliantly. I think what you can take away from this is trying to do fancy things like Reaper Harass, which is an expensive opener. Trying to do that when you don't have the multitasking ability to well micro those Reapers while continuing to macro well back in your main base. If you can't do both really well, I mean, if you can micro your Reapers really well, or you can macro really well, you want to do the macro. Because if you try and micro those Reapers and neglect your macro, it will screw you over. Reaper Harass isn't that effective. If you try and do both at once, chances are you're not good enough until you're like, what, Masters level. So I mean, that's a silly opener for someone in gold. And then after that, I'm like, he was just so far behind in economy throughout the whole game. I mean, he saw that I had a second. He knew that I only had a few lings. He could have expanded then. He didn't. he could have harassed me with drops. Now, that's the thing Terran are really good at, is airdrops. I never had to build any spores or spines up in my main, because he kept attacking by ground. And drops aren't that micro-intensive. And the other thing he had was that really weird unit composition of kind of tanks. Well, I mean, like tank, marine, marauder, medevac. That's an okay composition, but did you need 4 factories with tech labs? He didn't have the income to spit out units from all of those, so that was a waste of resources. But yeah, anyway, that was just that was that. And I have nothing else to say.